Hip hop is dying. Let me tell you why.
What you talking about, Willis?
It's 2024. The Game is beefing with Rick Ross. Drake is beefing with Kendrick Lamar. 50 Cent's beefing with Meek Mill. King Cone's beefing with everybody.
I dare one of you niggas scream out no Diddy.
Diddy is Diddy.
Get in your bag, stay in your bag.
Everything is going wrong. Chris Brown and Quavo are in a light-skinned, dark-skinned beef about a woman.
Never got light skin versus brown skin, nigga finna divide the country.
There's a lot going on, y'all.
I'm fighting for my life.
As a person that loves diss tracks, I'm sorry, I love beef. Pause.
Whoa, where your balls at? Whoa, gotta pause that. Whoa.
When it comes to music, I enjoy the vigor that comes with the intensity and anger that people put on wax and release via streaming services so I can listen to it.
Keep dumping.
I enjoy it. I hit him up.
You know who the realest is, niggas. We bring it to
Ether.
Who's the best? Pac, Nas, and Big.
Takeover. Super ugly.
I got myself a gun.
With no Vaseline.
Oh yeah, it ain't over, motherfuckers.
Common versus Drake. Drake versus Meek Mill.
There's a thin line between the fake and the real.
Nicki versus Remy Ma. Nicki versus Lil' Kim.
Corny broad, I leave you bloody like you menstruated.
I love it all. It's entertainment. I enjoy it. However, in the current state of hip hop, prior to Drake and Kendrick releasing all these damn diss tracks and Kendrick Lamar basically baiting Cole to drop a diss track and Drake to follow up after that.
I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a fucking microphone?
I think we have to understand as well that yes, although beef and hip hop is entertaining, this is not what's going to sustain over a long period of time. It is not what's going to bring hip hop back to the forefront, because there was a time where hip hop was the leading genre. It's not right now. Now, music goes in cycles. It shifts.
Bet my shit keeps spinning like it's syndicated.
A lot of mainstream attention is put on the disagreements that are happening in hip hop, the various amounts of disagreements happening in hip hop, but understand that it's not going to last forever. At some point, people are going to stop caring about the violence, because things are actually turning into in real life violence past music.
Put the road label on me, I'm gonna get them dropped.
And even on music, they're gonna get over this type of stuff, right? Because this is, I think, the pinnacle and epitome of what was started via drill music.
Bang, 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 bang.
So drill music was also a time in hip hop, and I don't necessarily think it's gonna go away, because people trying to come out of their situations in the trenches via music is never gonna go away. That concept is always gonna happen.
You in the streets and die tonight, who gon' be there to raise, not the streets, nigga?
They're surrounded by violence. They want to rap about violence in their music because that's what they are around. So you can't necessarily be upset about that. That will always be a thing, especially with the popularity of people like Chief Keef and Lil Durk.
Tell me what's this gonna be if this ain't what you want.
And even broad street rappers like K-Flock, B-Love, Shadi K, people that have been able to take their unfortunate upbringing and make money, monetize off of it. However, the violence, people are at some point gonna get over it, right? So even drill music itself, out of the Bronx, I do think the wave is not as prominent as it once was.
You better shoot or get shot.
Chicago drill, I don't think the wave is as prominent as it once was.
Lil' bro got blood on his shirt with his crip ass.
Even Philadelphia drill, I don't think the wave is as prominent as it once was.
When I was signed to the streets before I heard a little dirt.
On top of the fact that people are going to jail, they got RICOs, and people are dying, and it's like there's just a lot of unfortunate events that are around hip hop being prominently diss tracks, beef, violence, and anger.
She get wicked.
You could say that disagreements in hip hop is something that hip hop is kind of birthed on, right? And it's been around for quite some time. It's not always happy-go-lucky. It's probably rarely all happy-go-lucky, right? But if hip hop wants to get back to its prominence, it's not going to be like this.
Baddies, they ready to go with me. I just nod and they know to go get 'em.
There are dope songs that are coming out of these situations, you know. They not like us, you know. Kendrick got everybody hitting the C-walk and whatnot.
Devil is a lie, here 69 God.
Hip hop to me is a overall umbrella, and rap is in that umbrella. Then you got people like Kid Cudi. You got things like 808s and Heartbreak. You got Drake at a point was making hip hop music that had some pop elements in it. You know, you got alternative hip hop. Hip hop is an overarching umbrella, and then there's a bunch of subsectors under that. So Drill music is also under hip hop.
CJ Goon, you know he gon' up it and boom.
Violence and anger, all that can fall under that, but it's not the thing that's going to sustain to make people sell arenas, sell shows, make money. Because if they, as fans, go to these shows, you're at risk of the person that made that song, somebody coming to try to harm the individual that made the song or anybody who's around them. You are at risk as a fan. You may not think about that, but if you go to a concert with a guy who's constantly in beef, you are at risk as a fan.
She get wicked.
You may not think about that, think, oh yeah, security and all that. Like, you are at risk.
No, security.
I believe hip hop is dying because we're not trying to figure out what's going to happen after this.
You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not gonna stop there.
So, in the time period where people were saying hip hop was dying, because it's been a little while, because on top of that, not to say that every female rapper is like this, because there are a lot of female rappers that people are not necessarily tuning into that have dope tracks.
Every time y'all built me with them hoes, it's gonna be big drama.
A lot of Coil Ray songs are not necessarily built in sexual nature, even though some of them may be, you know what I'm saying? But you got people like Lakia and
Yeah, I'ma tell you how a bitch did it.
Rhapsody.
She said she got next, but she not moving. Think she stuck, okay?
You know, there's other female artists that people may not be tapping into that don't make such sexually charged music, you know, Tia Corinne.
Pocket swelling, selling white, showing off, feeling like I'm Ellen.
You have people like Ice Spice, Sexy Red, who are probably two of the top artists in mainstream popularity right now.
Don't save me, I don't wanna be saved.
It may put a bad taste when it comes to music and how males and even just the world in general look at female hip hop. But that's not all of what there is to offer, right? And even at a point in hip hop, you can go back to Joey Badass and Pro Era.
Cause when niggas start equipping and throw the clip in, your blood dripping and catch you slipping under the victim, don't know what's hit them.
Odd Future, Tyler Creator, Earl Sweatshirt. It was different types of music, all under that hip hop umbrella.
Freaking sick and getting bigger like I sneeze on a damn. And girls is getting touchy feely like they read some breath.
People have to acknowledge that all the violence and anger it's not that it's not going to come back around when people are more interested in that. It's just that I think we're on the other side of that. And people have to grasp that once people stop caring, the listeners will eventually stop caring about all the anger and beef. So what's going to happen after that?
We should have known nothing lasts forever.
What is the transition? Where is hip hop going? Who is thinking about the next step up the ladder for hip hop to get back to the top? Because are we saying in order for hip hop to be the most listened to genre as to be based in straight violence and anger?
Come on, CJ, you see me when I see you. Nigga, you ain't even make a move.
I don't think it gotta be like that. I think hip hop, once again, is an overarching umbrella that has a bunch of genres under it and can be fused and brought together. So what is the next thing? We need to be focused on the next thing.
Why these bitches mad at me? Because I'm going up.
Because the anger in diss tracks is not gonna last forever. These are moments in time, moments in hip hop history that I love. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy the entertainment that comes out of it. I'm not gonna be one of those like squares and haters that act like this isn't entertainment. But what is the next thing that's gonna bring hip hop back to the prominent side of things, back to the forefront? Because people are gonna stop caring after a while, and then what happens? I personally think that R&B, and I was talking to Trevor Jackson the other day, and he thinks that even more conscious hip hop is gonna take its place back at a seat at the table.
But I think R&B, it's a nostalgic feeling. It's a safe feeling. I feel like life is crazy. You want something that you can listen to that gives you a reminder of what love looks like, whether that was your parents or maybe your uncle and your aunt. And I feel like R&B always takes me to that place, and I feel good when I'm in that place, and I think more people want to feel better.
People are not gonna want to always be angry, bro. As a person that lives in New York, from New York, it's like, bro, anger is all majority of people here know.
See, this is exactly why I don't like people, bro. Why she walking like that?
You don't want to constantly just be living in anger, bro. I love R&B and Afro beats and these types of genres because they provide a different feel and aura, make you just tap into a different part of your brain, tap into a different part of your soul that maybe you're not always trying to feel or tap into.
I can't forget you, you know that shit. Cold day in hell before I'm over it.
And you're not always gonna be able to dig into these emotions with hip hop, unless people are on like some, I guess, melodic, thought-provoking type of stuff, which is cool. But even then, like the auto-tune, melodic, thought-provoking type of hip hop, that's been done time and time again, 20 times over.
But I don't ask about her other guys. I just wanna eat you alive.
What is next, y'all? In order for me to be able to say that hip hop is dying, as a person that loves hip hop, grew up on hip hop and R&B, both.
It's racism's cousin.
There's times I like hip hop more than R&B, and there's times I like R&B more than hip hop, but I love them both. I have favorite artists in both genres, and I think that R&B, once there's established superstars in R&B, I do think R&B will take a top seat at the table as well.
And you can only take so much of what we're hearing today.
I would love to see that happen, so we can finally get a different energy shift in the world. It's a different aura when there's R&B superstars out there, and people may not acknowledge them. Got lucky days. Trevor Jackson, I think, is a fire R&B artist.
But these four walls keep me company.
Kamari. Y'all gotta tap in.
Text me when I'm butterflying. I'm speeding for the things you bring.
Eric Bellinger, Blast. I think Blast has the potential to be one of the more popular artists in the world.
You might be the one that I split with. Could it be you?
Y'all gotta expand your music reach. And I'm really talking to hip hop fans, because with this title, I'm sure I'm gonna draw in some hip hop fans that may disagree with me. And I need you to understand that prior to these diss tracks, the talk was that hip hop was dying. And what was happening to make that message not be true? Really, nothing.
What does that have to do with it?
No. He's got a point.
People were just looking at each other like, yeah, hip hop's dying. What you gonna do about it? And the finger was being pointed right back like, oh, I don't know.
That man's an imposter. That man is the imposter.
Where is it going? What is the next thing? Because at some point, it can't last forever. There's always gonna be beef in hip hop. I understand. But musically, where is the transition? At some point, I do think we need that 50 Cent Kanye West change of the guards.
He sold more. You didn't retire.
But later, if you look at Jay-Z's documentaries, he points that moment out as a point that he beat me, right? How did he beat me if it was Kanye's? Because he was the president of Def Jam, and they did everything they could to make that work at that point.
Kanye represented a different part of hip hop. 50 Cent represented a different part of hip hop. I do think we need some level of a switch because it's violent and lack of substance. And being that it's like it can't go farther in this way than what's happening right now.
When it was my turn, I was just being an advocate for what was the best out there, which just so happened to be me.
That's why I think this conversation is important right now, because how much farther can it go from here, right? You got drill music, yes, which is not necessarily mainstream, but it has a large audience to it. And now you got mainstream artists making diss tracks. Okay, that's what's up. But where does it go when you have A-list artists making diss tracks? It doesn't go past that. So at some point, it's gonna have to hit the reset button in reverse. So what is on the other side of this? Hip-hop, that is a question that needs to be answered.
You ain't got the answer, Sway.
Hip-hop fans, are you gonna let these other genres smoke us? Taylor Swift is doing stupid dummy numbers.
Then we need a verse for the Swifties. Top say drop, you better drop and give them 50.
What are we gonna do? Are we out here trying to play to win? Are we trying to play ourselves? We outside getting down dirty.
My guy Taylor's in the building. He's a YouTube superstar, Instagram content creator. What else do you do, sir?
And, I get down and dirty expeditiously. You know what I'm saying? I got
expeditiously.
Expeditiously.